What is up? Welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Xavier Turbos. The head-to-head finals are here. I can't believe we made it this far so quickly. It felt like only yesterday me and Timmy were sitting in the Panthers courtyard watching the Canberra Raiders take on the Warriors, and the Warriors absolutely getting pounded. And for that whole week, all of us were saying the Warriors are going to get the spoon, only for them to still be in the four and absolutely battling for it. I'm joined by the 2021 champion, Tim Moody. How are you, Timmy?
Pretty good. Coming off a bit of a week. You know, I moved like 90-something ranks, but it was green arrows, so happy enough with that. Put me into 1,985th, which I'll just point out puts me above Grant, who was only ahead of me for 1 week. That did point that out last week, but that's now changed, mate. Somebody's closer.
Oh, that is golden. Yeah. You actually, you said to me the other day, I've got something for the start of the podcast, because you always say something for Grant. I gave him the right reply last week. He said, no, I've got nothing, but had a cheeky comment at the ranks. So you've taken over. I feel like, does that mean when he comes on next week, he'd probably be ranked higher?
Yeah, probably. Probably, because we're very close. We're very close.
Myself, 1,040. Terrible week. Went down to 4,400. My sit versus start. Me and Grant had a full segment on it last week, and we were just like, this is crucial. And looking at everything I did made sense. Just didn't work out for me this time around. Jaden Campbell, I benched.
Yeah, 100. I know. We had a good chat about that. I gave you a phone chat. I was hoping you'd steer me. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you to do what you want to do. And I was like, ooh, I think I should be playing Brimson. I'm like, I think I can have this chat with you because you also own Jaden Campbell and he's your backup guy this week, right? And you're like, yeah, he's my backup. I'm going to play Galvin. And then we sort of chatted about it's pretty much one of the only dry games. And then we sort of, obviously, by the end of that conversation, put more weight into the matchup of the Penrith being tough. I think if Brimson, you know, or even Jaden Campbell, you know, more often than not, if they play the Panthers, they're probably going to go for a, you know, sub-50 score more often than not. Yeah. But, yeah, it being one of the only dry games, maybe that was enough for us to sort of – doesn't mean that they're going to score 100 just because it's the only dry game because, you know, Brimson and Campbell have played a lot of other teams that are worse than the Panthers this year in dry games and scored a lot less. So it was a bit unlucky, but I think we made our own luck on that one. We probably could have put our best foot forward and given them a go.
It was very dry. We're looking outside in the Sydney weather at the time while we're on the phone, looking at that dry pre-game looked like a good deck, and looking outside in our own backyards at the time, absolutely bucketing down. Like, I mean, I feel like these decisions can go either way, and in hindsight, one way or another, it works in your favour or out of your favour. I think just this time we got it wrong, and you know, next time if we prioritise a dry game over a wet game, it might not be the same result next time. So I think can't beat ourselves up too much about it. But for Jaden Campbell doing so well, but it was the trainer's fault.
Yeah, that's all right. It was a bit unlucky. Bit of a slip of the mind, I think, for old mate who ran in front. But I'm starting to maybe think I could be being a little bit biased. You know, everyone I have the conversation with is pretty adamant that it was intentional. And I just
want to get this rant out of the way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the trainer running in front of Jaden Campbell?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on the Penrith trainer?
I'm obviously kitted out in my Penrith gear today, so I'm definitely going to look like a biased fan. I'm probably going to sound like one. I probably am a little biased being a Penrith fan, but I would like to think that that's not something that, you know, would intentionally do. Like, I just don't think it's cheating to the next level. Putting the water on the ball, you know, a couple of weeks back when that happened, I thought that was a way more dodgy than this. I thought this was a genuine mistake. It's a dumb mistake. Like, he probably should have better spatial awareness and know what's going on in the game to not run across. But just when you looked at the moment when he did it, the look on his face seemed very genuinely embarrassed, not cheekily like, oh, look, I got caught. It was like, oh, my God, what did I just do? And even when he ran that line, it was just a straight line. The moment he realised what he was doing, he sort of ran towards him in a quick panic and sort of was, you know, really taken aback, I personally feel. And I just don't see what you're going to gain from that. Like, if we ran in front of him as he was taking the kick, he's probably going to be able to take the kick again. Like, it's not like they're going to say, it's play it as it lies. You know, oh, too bad, you know, you've missed the kick. Like, he ran across as he was preparing, which is very unprofessional. It's not great, but he had time to prepare and, you know, go through his, you know, his process again. And there's all sorts of distractions, you know, that happen when you're on the field. You've got the fans yelling all sorts of things from behind you. When you're kicking a penalty goal, often from in front, you've got the teams jumping up in front trying to distract you or walking funny little angles or doing stuff to try and throw. No, it's never great sportsmanship. But if that was that, like the trainer's trying to insert himself, I don't think Ivan Cleary's instructed that sort of thing into, like, mate, insert yourself into the game. If he's taking it upon himself, that's pretty shit. But I can only say what I think. I think that, A, he wouldn't have meant to have done it. And even if he did, what is to be gained from it? Like, I get that he missed the kick, but I don't feel like just running in front while he's preparing and then gets to go through for preparation again is enough to make him actually miss the kick. But who knows? He didn't get the opportunity to kick the goal without that actually happening, so we'll never know. What I do agree with is perhaps he probably should have had the opportunity to kick the ball from in front. I do agree with that. But people being so hating of like I'm just seeing like a lot of hate for like, you know, this bloke. We all make mistakes in the workplace, big ones. You know, it happens all the time. And I know, I get it's a professional sport and there's a lot on the line. And, you know, maybe he would have kicked it, but we'll never know.
In my opinion, Jaden Campbell had every chance to reset and put the ball back on and go through his process again. My question is, if Nicho Hynes or Nathan Cleary were making that kick, would you blame Nicho Hynes or Nathan Cleary for missing the kick, or would you blame the trainer in that instance? Because I can guarantee you, Nicho Hynes or Nathan Cleary will be 100% the ones taking accountability for missing that kick. Jaden Campbell threw the toys out of the cot and even threw the tee towards the ball kid.
Yeah.
If the trainer is the person that is the one that is a disgrace, then shouldn't Jaden Campbell kind of just look at what he did and how he approached that situation? I'm sure as a professional he has already, but in my opinion, the trainer is in the wrong in this situation, and like Jaden Campbell can feel however he wants to feel, but I just think it's a bit of a blow up for no reason. I think people are blowing up at Penrith because they just want to find something to blow up at Penrith about. But
yeah, for me, I think it's the one thing I will say as well. I think is you can always try and make excuses for your own. You know, like he had an excuse there to go, I missed it. You know, and try to pass the blame. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are also trying to now shift and find reasons for why Penrith are winning. Oh, because you just cheats. Like, that's not it, man. That's
anyway, we're a SuperCoach podcast, so we won't dwell on that.
But I'm also a
Penrith
much. Fan and don't like it.
Yeah,
so
I apologise for anyone listening that, like, because I know we've spoken about this with some people that just don't agree with it. So if you don't agree with it, you don't agree with us, then 100% I understand. Like, we're probably just biased.
Probably being biased. But also my flip side is I think that everyone else is equally biased because everyone else hates Penrith.
Yeah.
So they're like, an excuse to find a reason why they shouldn't have won.
Nah, that's all right. All right, going over team list this week. We've already done the Daily Telegraph podcast and gone over team list kind of at a spill, but just going over the team list, what are your big takeaways from them?
I guess...
Frangos?
Yeah, you pulled that joke on Saints. You should have saved it for the live show.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think my biggest takeaways is probably, for me, Brimson still being at fullback because, you know, I left him out of my side last week and really want to play him this week against the Bunnies. Had Kinney come into the side, like there was a lot of rumours he was going to, him moving to centre wing would have been pretty shitey. It's a big swing in how, you know, what the level of upside he's got there, I think, at fullback, especially this week with the Titans, with him playing the Bunnies, because, you know, if he can have that sort of performance against a Panthers side, I'd like to think that he could at least match that or go better.
What did your gut feel? Because it feels like I didn't play Jaden Campbell, you didn't play AJ Brimson because it's against the tough side in Penrith. It feels like this matchup is way too good to be true. And do you feel like your gut says that, fuck it, I'm not guaranteed a good score here? Yeah,
well, like I touched on a little bit before on the other show, is just I do think it's a little bit too good to be true. It's like 2 weeks ago I was sitting here, or I wasn't sitting here, we were sitting in a different studio, But we were talking about Nico Hines coming up against the Bunnies, and I was, had blinkers on. He's my captain. There's no other way I'm looking anywhere else. And there was other good options that round. I think other people were more interested in things like Edwards might have been. It was the week after Edwards kind of went big, I think it was. Yeah. So there's other good options there, and I was just really locked in on that matchup. But yeah, what I sort of addressed is, I think maybe the Bunnies might have an on-week, off-week. Like last week they got smashed, and now they've got to respond this week. And the week that I wanted Nico as my captain a couple of weeks ago, they'd got smashed the weekend prior to that and then responded. So maybe it does look a bit too good on paper. I don't know.
And I guess like Latrell's due back this week. He's on the extended bench, so if he comes in, he really lifts that side.
Changes the dynamic, the overall belief, maybe.
Yeah, and I kind of like to target teams that come off wins. I think it's more important. So like the Dragons, for instance, they're playing the Sharks this week. I actually like the Sharks up against the Dragons, even though it is at Cogra, because I think after a win like that, the Dragons they can breathe easier that week. It's not a do or die win the following week, whereas you're looking at a Canberra Raiders side who I've been excited for Manly to play for weeks now because they average really well against them, but the Canberra just lost. So I'm looking at that matchup now thinking, fuck, Sticky's going to get up for it and make sure that this team wins this matchup at GIO. So I'm a bit more scared of that Manly matchup now. So I think especially this time of year, the spoon isn't settled. I think every win is crucial. The 8 isn't settled and the 4 isn't settled. So I don't think you can predict every matchup going into this week. I'm looking at the Melbourne Broncos game. I don't know what's going to happen there. What Broncos shows up after a 60 to 8 win over the Rabbitohs? Do they be complacent this week and the Melbourne Storm absolutely put a number on them? Or I could see the Broncos putting a number on the Melbourne Storm because the Melbourne Storm have won their games in previous weeks, but they haven't looked convincing.
Yeah, they haven't, have they? And even when they sort of do get out to a lead, they don't go on with it. They've shown a lot of not Storm type of footy, and I thought that they'd probably be getting a little bit closer towards semi-final footy by now, this close out. But yeah, maybe the Storm do. Maybe this is the game that they actually sort of start to try tick every box. And
can they do it without Jerome Hughes?
Yeah, I think they can. I don't think they're going to be as good, but they're still a solid side and one not to take lightly.
Payne Haas returns with Terrell May on the bye. Do you find Payne Haas as a very popular purchase this week? Do you find him as must-have, or is he someone you're eyeing off? What are your thoughts on Payne Haas in general?
I've been sort of last couple of weeks just sort of, I think I can put him off this week. Oh, yeah, he's not named this week, that sort of stuff. Oh, beauty. The more and more I put it off, I feel like I've gotten away with not having him, and I just feel like I probably need to do it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to also just, put it off as long as I can in case I don't need to make that move. I've only got 3 trades. I'm a bit cautious to not pull trades in certain positions until I need to cover that position in case I get a lot of carnage just in other areas of my side. So, yeah, I think I should probably do it though. I think what's mainly got me starting to get a little bit more oh no, you can't take these sorts of risks. It's just the head-to-head final side of it for me. I don't mind if I drop 50 points here or there week to week, knowing that if it's for the greater good, you know what I mean? I can sort of make it back if I've got more information with something. But when it's if I lose my head-to-head finals and, I then have to play again next week, it could be a tough position. I'd ideally like to get a week off and, then potentially if there is carnage next week, I don't have to deal with it and then try and get my side right with that last final trade maybe or whatever I've got up my sleeve.
What do you think the tactic is? So obviously you're trying to hold off as long as possible if you can, but say...
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm doing that though.
Say you're in 8th and you're in a do-or-die win this week. Yeah, I think you go all out no matter how many trades you have. Just do what's best for your team this week. just you need to do what's best for your
Provided
team.
it's a cash league and that's what you care about more. If it's just a bragging rights league and you actually care more about your overall, just stick to the overall plan, of course.
Very different strategies depending on how you look at it. We're mainly a overall focus podcast, but I think at this time of year, a lot of cash leagues are on the line, and there's probably more on the line head-to-head wise than there is for most people overall wise at this time of year. I think, so for yourself, is a 1500th rank more important than a 2500 rank, or winning all your head-to-head, or winning more head-to-head leagues? So what's more important to you?
I mean, I could do with some extra cash right now, so I'd probably, I mean, it'd be nice to really get those, but ask me in, 5 years' time, I will care that I've got 1500th now in this year instead of 2500th. I really care about that rank, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So looking back in the bigger picture, I probably would care about the rank, but it's probably a dumb answer. Should probably try and bank those head-to-head leagues.
100%. Dane Gagai is named at fullback for the Knights against the Panthers. One of the pods of the week, Herbie Farnworth is out injured, so we'll obviously talk about replacements there. But because he is one of the most traded in players this week, I want to talk about him quickly. Since moving to fullback, scores of 104, 93 and 92 in the last 3 weeks. Went with the bye last week. Plays the Penrith Panthers this week. Has a bit of a tricky draw, has the Cowboys next week, which is pretty good, then has the Broncos and Sharks, and then finishes with Parramatta. He's goal kicking as well, and it just seems when Newcastle don't have the attacking weapons in Kalen Ponga and Fletcher Sharp, he's their go-to. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I really like him. I mean, I'd probably pick him as my preference to replace Herbie Farnworth for my side over the big picture, like for the next 5 rounds. However, I'm a little bit more kind of looking at the short term and at this point and kind of going Jaden Campbell, who I don't own, who I could bring in to my side by putting Brimson down to centre wings and getting Campbell in at 5'8". Could do me more damage just because he's more popularly owned, and if he does really go off and have one of those 150, 170 games that Jaden Campbell can have once a season, just that are out of this world, it feels like this is the round it could be. And if it's going to be head-to-head finals where it just crashes me out of a lot of those, that could suck. And also, if it's such a big score like that, it could do enough damage to my overall ranks as well. So I'm kind of looking at it as a 1 week thing that it could have that much damage over the season still. I really like Gagai though, because I just feel like he's really safe for those 90s, 100s. I feel like Gagai will definitely average more.
I think he's definitely as safe for at least a 70 plus. Just the way he's been scoring points, like he's kicking goals again. He didn't kick goals for a couple of weeks, but like his points in tackle bus over the last couple of weeks, 24 points, 14 points, 12 points, 10 points since going back to fullback. He's had 3 line breaks in that time, and he's averaging 30 points in runs in the last 3 weeks. Like he is 30 points in runs with 20 points tackle bus plus the attacking upside. I don't think he has a 140 game in him for the rest of the year, but
he also doesn't have like a 30 or 40 in him either, I don't think. So that's, when you're kind of looking at him, he feels very safe to plug week in, week out and just take that good, decent, 70-plus score every week, I reckon. I feel like he'd be pretty comfortable to get a 70 each week, and if it was 1 or 2 of them, maybe might be a little bit shy of it, but not by much. When I look at it, I think Jaden Campbell has the potential to have that one individual higher ceiling game, which might be this week. Maybe it's one of the other games. But as I said, I do think Gagai averages more.
Is that going to be more crucial? I
think Gagai's the better. I feel like he's a better buy. But this week I'm sort of a bit just too scared about what Campbell could potentially do.
I think for head-to-heads, 170 kind of score is going to be more detrimental to you than someone scoring 90 over the couple of weeks. So
I've got a couple other blokes in my side that are probably doing similar enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, so I think with the potential to score 150 plus score, I think I like Jaden Campbell a lot more, but a lot of people aren't in that position. Herbie Farmworth, there's a lot of different options to go to, but we will touch on it after we go over the team list quickly. Isaiah Yo's out for the Penrith Panthers.
Well, on the flip side, you could be interested in Brimson.
Yeah.
If you're not, you know what I mean? So if you're not interested in Jaden Campbell, which is the guy, you could be interested in Brimson. So, who I think equally you could say the same things. He could go really, really big this week.
Yeah.
And probably has the potential to go bigger this week against the Bunnies at fullback than Gagai does going up against the Panthers this round.
Yeah, I just feel like Gagai doesn't have that massive ceiling, and I think he's...
But sometimes you just got to not be too greedy in wanting that big 170. If you can take 90 every single week and chuck that in there, it really helps, eh?
But to be fair, he might have that ceiling at fullback now. Like, we don't know. Because he just hasn't had the chance to present that ceiling.
Yeah, there might be more to come.
Yeah.
Just the rest of the side around him doesn't feel like they're going to offer that.
Isaiah Yo's out for the Penrith Panthers. Do you think this hurts Cleary at all? And captaincy-wise?
No, not too much.
Yep.
No.
Manly Seagulls, Tom Trbojevic is named at fullback, and Lehigh Hopewade is out of the side. Any interest in Tom Trbojevic? He's got a really good run on the run home. I'm very excited to own. I'm potentially captaining this week, 8 p.m. game at GIO, so it is very tricky, so I'll probably leave that one out. But plays the Tigers next week, into the Dolphins. After that goes St. George and the Warriors. 2 games at 4 Pines Park. The draw is good. Tommy at fullback. I think he'll be hungry, and they're fighting for an 8 spot, so everything is in his favour. I would have liked a few more games at 4 Pines and maybe a Titans matchup, but I think there's a lot to like about it.
Yeah, the draws, even though they don't have the Titans or the Bunnies, they've still got like Tigers next week, Dolphins the week after, and then the Dragons. Those 3 games seem really, really nice. And
the Dolphins seem tricky, but it's at 4 Pines, so I think there will be points for both sides in that game.
It's just, it's awkward. Most people that are low on trades won't be able to do it, or just because you're going to have injuries like Herbie that you want to deal with and you have to kind of replace. You can't really deal with it that way. Like, looking at my side, and a lot of people are going to have like Tedesco, Drinkwater, maybe, or probably Edwards, or I can't think of too many other combos with Pappy out there. Then you might have a random flex or something. That might be the way to make that work. If you've got a random flex, you could bring Turbo into your side by putting that random flex into the position that they actually belong in. But if you've got 3 healthy fullbacks that are available to play and you're low on trades like me and have 3 trades, there's no way I can deal with it. I've got like Karapani, I've got Kolomatangi, I've got Farmworth. That's 3 players that I've got to deal with. I think there might even be more issues. Yeah, I've got bigger fish to fry.
I think Tom Trbojevic, I know I'm a little bit biased potentially.
Oh, I think he's going to go great.
But look at his draw at this exact time last year. Round 23, Canberra. Round 24, the Warriors. Round 25, the Tigers. He went 121, 105, 158 in that 3-game stretch.
I don't think you could use your final trade on it, though, if you've got other depth issues there, because any points that he scores that goes really well will be offset by the holes in your side that you can't deal with.
100%.
So that's why I don't reckon you should be bringing in someone like who you're bringing in this week, because whatever he does do is going to be offset by all the other holes that you could have plugged anyway.
Not really?
Oh, I do think so, but that's all right. I love your last end of season hurrahs.
Yeah, I don't think this one's as exciting as what the last few have been. But, we'll definitely touch on it when we talk of Pickles of the week. But, last year he went Newcastle in round 19, 119. Titans round 20, 174 at 4 Pines. That's why I would have loved the Titans matchup. But I would have loved a Rabbitohs matchup too. But he's already had that and he already turned up against them. So I'm excited to see him at fullback and hopefully he can score some points this week. But I think the draw going on next week is really good for him. And I honestly think if you do have trades, going in Dylan Edwards to Nathan Cleary next week Dylan Edwards to Tom Trbojevic next week, when Tom has the Tigers, they have Melbourne, Canberra, Bulldogs, St. George, the Panthers. So, I mean, it's not terrible, but they've got the Melbourne and the Bulldogs in their last 4. So I think that's where it ends up a bit tricky. But that being said, Edwards scored 90 against the Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago.
I think for that stretch of games that Turbo will at least match Edwards and has the potential to go much bigger with upside there. Yeah,
depends if he's a captain option as well. Moving on, Manly, Lehigh is out. That's a blow from my side as well. The Sharks play the Dragons on Saturday, and not much doing there. I think we'll touch on this person later. Dolphins and Roosters. I think Nwanga Nitawase is a very good play option this week. We'll talk about that in sit versus starts. But the Dolphins, Herbie Farnworth out. It's huge.
Yeah, it sucks. We were just sort of talking beforehand, and I'm sure, like everyone else has in their little chat groups, what was he going to score if he had stayed on the field for 80 minutes? Because he was looking like he was on fire. It was about 20 minutes, and he scored that 69 points.
I had the VC on him with a free loop as well, so I was like, I had it activated. Actually, it's happened 2 weeks in a row, and I've got a free loop this weekend.
Yeah, you don't jinx it by leaving the loop on there and being too like, I'm just going to, it's always going to be, I feel like I don't like when you do that.
No, it's the last 2 weeks, it's been terrible because I locked in the Drinkwater loop at halftime for 90 points.
Yeah, don't do it after, you do it after the game.
He got 3 points. And I locked it in as soon as he scored his try.
SuperCoach gods don't like it.
He got 2 more line breaks after that, though. So it didn't. But, yeah, the injury just... that was a 200-plus game right there. Like, he was on fire.
It's an annoying injury. I mean, it's one of those ones that a lot of people own, and he's just that expensive that it kind of makes it a bit boring because now everyone can kind of just do what they want to do with, you know what I mean, with their... Anyone who's kind of like, how am I going to afford that? It just frees up the cash that you need. And it allows people's other... If I had held off on... Like I sold Mark Nwanga Nitawase about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago for Ronnie Mulatalo. Had I had more information, I could have held off like just a week and I would have been able to sell Karapani instead, which would have been a lot nicer. And because I wouldn't have, I thought at the time I needed to sell Mark because I needed that amount of money, that extra 100K from where I didn't know Karapani was even getting dropped at that point. So there was a lot to factor in. But yeah, just having fun with it at 800K, you can just bump off now. It just makes it a bit more not boring, but a bit easier for everyone to equal out and sort of get the same sort of sides, especially with those who haven't sort of got the same cash gen going as others.
Jacob Carraz still named at fullback. Lockie Galvin named at halfback once again under an injury cloud there. And AJ Brimson is still at fullback. There's no Keanu Keeney as there was rumours. Latrell is on the extended for the Bunnies. And Robert Derby, who has leaked so many points on his defensive edge, has been dropped or he's injured. And Zach Laybuck goes to the wing. So Herbie Farnworth is the big topic this week, replacements for Herbie Farnworth. We've already talked about Dane Gagai. Ronnie Mulatalo is someone I'm so interested in. You bought him in 2 weeks ago. He's gone back-to-back 90s. He has the Dragons this week, who I'm very keen to see him against. Then he has the Titans and the Knights. He does have a bye in between there. And then the last week he has
Doggies, I think.
The Doggies. I think he's a very good option.
Yeah, if you've got the depth where you don't need to worry, you don't think that having him not be available for round 25 is going to hurt you too much. It does depend on the amount of Sharks you got. I know you've got quite a few. You've got Nikora. You don't have Nico, though, which is helpful.
I do have Nico.
Oh, you do have Nico now? Oh, you got him in?
I got him in last week.
Oh, that's wild. You're so wild. I love you. I love the wild shit you do at the back end of the year. It's good.
I looked at that draw and I'm like,
sense, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's going to hurt me if I don't have him.
Yeah, so maybe if you've got, you've got Ramian and there's Nicoras and it could be a one too many if you've got a few nups and a few depth, but yeah, good price, and I think he could score pretty well. He was scoring sort of like 50s probably without, 2 weeks prior to I bought him, he scored 51 and 50 without tries.
And they were the signs we're looking for. He's looking hungry, looking for work, and he seems fit. I don't see a single-digit score in him. Touch wood.
What do you mean, a single digit, like a 9 or a
10? He has them.
He does.
He has them in him, but I don't see it for the rest of the season. Even in that Bulldogs matchup for the last game of the year, dare I say, there might be restings just based on where
I was worried he was going to, after leaving Brimson out, I was like, Ronnie was the guy that
you were going to
leave out instead. Yeah. And then seeing how rainy it was, I thought he's got fucking Buckley's of actually crossing the line here. And the fact that he scored 2 was pretty lucky for me.
Yeah. You're only 25 points worse off?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So I really like Ronnie Mulatalo. He's 540K. So, you're really, really enjoying if you've got a lot of trades because Herbie to Ronnie, 300K, you can do absolutely anything you want with your side. You can get whoever you want in your side. Lomax, I think if you don't have Lomax, Karaz and Garrick, is there any of these guys you wouldn't go to?
Of the big guns?
I actually think if you don't have Karaz, I wouldn't be buying him.
Oh, I don't know. I think at this time of the year, he's got enough upside still. I know
he does.
I know when you're talking about because there's enough injuries and stuff. I think you can fit them all in. I don't think you need to death ride him. If you think that he's going to go shit, then I don't think he's going to go that shit. I think he could still go pretty well.
He has the Warriors this week. A pretty good matchup.
Connor Tracy scored pretty well back there, and I think that he can do at least what he was doing.
Yeah, but I don't know if you definitely watch a game on the weekend. He's attacking in centre and defending at fullback, so he's not getting the same attacking ball that he would get. He's not a ball player, so he's not going to get those extra tries. He could. He's definitely getting in positions to score tries, but probably not as much as he would be on the wing. He has the Warriors this week. Then he has the Roosters next week, Melbourne, Penrith, Sharks. The run home couldn't be worse.
I just love how much he offloads, and I just think that he's still probably going to look for that. Nearly every second run, I know it's when he didn't happen as much from last week, but it was sloppy, wet conditions. You're not going to be trying to pop it out and stuff when you run as much. I still think he'll still try to look for that. It's one of his greatest assets. You can really accumulate points doing it. I think he's good enough thing.
Garrick, 600K, moves back to centre this week. I think I touched on the Manly draw before. If you don't have him, would you be going to him? I think he's been very underwhelming the last few weeks, but I think we're in for a bounce back for the back half of the season. I actually like him on the right edge, but
they feel boring because they feel like they're the type of players that you may have sold if you already had them, and you found a reason to sell them to get someone else that you need from matchup or whatever, or they may feel boring because everyone else has nearly already got them and you want to try go a pod guy that no one's really talking about. But often it's just good to get these guys. I mean, he's got the goal kicking as well. The draw's good. I think you can't not go with these guys. Those big four I still like them all. Lomax.
Yeah,
Lomax. It's now gone to big three now with Farnworth dropping off.
Yeah, with Farnworth out. Can you believe if you said at the start of the season the big four would be Garrett, Karaz and Lomax, I definitely see. But Farnworth,
yeah, I mean...
he was on the brink of it coming into this season, but the fact he's come so far...
Oh, and he's probably the best of them, just kind of, without kicking or anything either too.
So you would go to Lomax for sure?
Yep.
Yep. 100%. Any other centre wing options?
Not if I had one trade with you and there was bigger fish to fry.
Is there anyone else you would go to? Is there anyone else you're interested in? Obviously,
I was trying to look around for my own side, because that's why I started. That's why I've gone to maybe not a centre winger. There's pottier ones there, but I've gone to thinking Jaden Campbell might be the right guy to replace him. Put Brimson in centre wing for me, and then have both of those Titans guys in my side. I thought a little bit about. Casey McLean's going really well, but then Penrith draws quite tough. So that I thought maybe that evens it out a bit. I've also just been trying to look at, who the Bunnies have got over the next few rounds. So they've got the Titans this week. They've got Para the week after, then Dragons and the Roosters. Yeah, I really like just Gay Guy, hey.
Yeah.
He doesn't feature in those runner sides, but I think he becomes the next big four that you just want to sort of have plugged in there. I just don't know that I'll be doing it because I'm too scared of not owning Jaden Campbell for this particular matchup.
I think it's very tricky this time of year because you could go to anyone, but the top 10 averaging centre wings, 6 of them are injured. Like there's Kale Iro, Herbie Farnworth injured, Dylan Lucas injured, Val Holmes injured, Fletcher Sharp injured, Christian Tuipulotu injured. They're 6 of the top 10 averaging players. And then you go down to the next lot of players. Ruben Garrick's number 11. Mark Nwangani-Tuase, I really like his matchup against the Dolphins this week. If you don't have him, I'd consider him as a shout.
Timoko is really popular still, because he's had those 2 really big scores. I think 2 back-to-back doubles he scored in. They do have a bye next week. They go Manly this week, which at home, and hopefully we thought that they might really be up for this one.
I actually think with Timoko,
don't love it, but I still could see him going well. The form's there.
Coolers defending on that edge. Dare I say, Garrick's just shifted back to centre. They'll attack that left edge with Corey Waddell and Daly Cherry Evans and Tom. What did I just say?
Turbo?
Garrick, sorry, on that edge. Bo Fermel? Any love for him against the Rabbitohs?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't have him. He feels a little bit less upsidey because of...
He's someone I'm happy to have in centre.
But he could score a double and it could be a massive 130, 140 or something because he's got the work rate too.
I like him in second row. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. They got the run home, 600K, scored 78 on the weekend, and the work rate has gone up significantly with Tane Tuapiki at fullback.
It's got a pretty good, this week it's tough, but then, Dragons, Titans, Para, Manly. Yeah. That is good.
And since coming back, 59, 57, 87, 61, 79, 78. I mean, they're not like numbers out of the water kind of numbers, but he scored 3 tries since he come back, but on the weekend, 20 points in tackle busts. He had a line break and he had 41 points in runs. Have a go at this, right? 21 against the Gold Coast, 41 points in runs. Last week, 41 points in runs. Against Newcastle, round 20, 40 points in runs. Mm-hmm. Tigers, 41 points in runs. And he's really just gone through the roof in those runs, especially...
It feels yuck bringing the guy in for what you consider one of the toughest matchups defensively, like the week of. Because it's
kind of like the matchup this week, though.
Dogs?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because there'll be more work for him. And up against the edge, it'll be... the Jethro or Tuala.
Yeah, it's just not exciting from the point that where you think the Warriors could just get on a run and beat a team, 50-0 or something. You know what I mean? That from that side of.
But I don't think he needs 4 tries to do that. I think he probably only needs 2.
Yeah, maybe. I think he's a really good buy too. I maybe just prefer Gagai a little bit more.
Just more chance to go massive.
Feels safer too.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our Pickle of the Week, brought to you by picklebet.com.au. Use the code TURBO to sign up. I'll kick it off because you've obviously alluded to it a little bit. I have one trade left. One trade that I want to use for the run home, and Herbie Farnworth's injured. I've got Galvin, who's under injury cloud this week. I've also got Dylan Lucas, Tino, who's injured, and I have one trade left, so...
I know it's exciting. You want to use it, but I think you just put yourself in this position, man. That you've probably told yourself earlier in the year that one trade's for an emergency, so you got to stick to that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of an emergency. I have a free loop this week. Hopewade is also injured. I think Lomax is a very good purchase this week.
Oh, he's a great purchase.
I just think Herbie to Lomax makes sense for me. I understand what you're saying, and I've got depth. Like I'm leaving Azarko on the pine, I'm leaving Galvin on the pine, I'm leaving Geimer on the pine. I don't need to do it, but I'm also just like, let's just go balls to the wall. Like what?
Yeah, I really think that it can't work out for you.
I don't think it's going to work out either way, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that any decent points he scores, even if he does a 130 this week, that you're going to miss out on, that difference that he would, like say he scores 130 and the other person you would have played instead only scores 50, that's 80 points. I think you're going to lose way more than 80 points by not being able to deal with the problem over the next 4 or 3 or 2 weeks, whether it might be you don't have coverage in a certain position or numerous positions where you can't even, field a 17. I'd be more concerned about that.
Interesting.
But you're going to do it anyway, so that's fine. But I'm just, for those playing at home, they're in a similar position.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, but I'm open to not doing it because I see where you're coming from. Because I've held off on all these trades for Lucas, Tino, just because I know there's going to be one of these key positions where there's not much backup in it.
But because the thing is, right, you could hold off and be cautious. This is playing devil's advocate on the other side of it. You could just be really cautious and you have that much carnage that really doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only just dealing with one extra problem a week earlier than what you're going to be fucked next 2 weeks anyway or something. So you want to go for it, go for it. I'm just a little bit more cautious with these sorts of things and try to... Because I just think you do a lot of work all year to sort of get yourself into whatever position you're in. You don't want to have it all fall apart because of a bit of FOMO. Because I want him.
It's not even that. It's like realistically, the end of the year, what other trade is going to be so...
Oh, when you don't have a halfback because both of them go down 1 week. Or
I've had a shocker year as it is, and I think... to me at the moment, whatever I finish from here,
but don't you want to learn from your mistakes? Like you're sort of doing the same shit as last year, just a weird nothing trade.
It's already been done.
It has already been done. But if you can start to build these good habits now for this season, you already built that into you to apply it next year. You don't have to then pull that band off next year and be like, oh, it's my first time I'm actually doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just be cautious, sit back, let it go. There's one you're not going to have. Yeah. I really think it's the best way. I think future Sabs would be in a way better position. We'd be able to probably do the maths on it by the end.
Yep.
It'd be annoying to work out every scenario you would have done, and you'll probably say, oh, no, I would have done this and not this.
Actually, maybe I should plan it out every week, and if I do it, then we have to keep a hard tally on it for sure. But... what is your pickle of the week?
Well, just, I've got 3 trades and I'm kind of thinking I don't think I should really be necessarily doing anything just yet either. If I can field a strong 17, I'd still struggle to leave someone out of my side to bring in Payne Haas or to bring in Jaden Campbell. Jaden Campbell's the one I do feel like there's the upside there. So if I was going to do just one, I should probably do that, not both, because it could really hurt me. But yeah, I just feel like even for myself, I've got no depth. Like this week I'm only leaving out Geimer. So I've got Lawson, Gornskis, Karapani, Gornskis, Farnworth, Gornskis, all for my centre wing. Then I'm leaving out Geimer for my side. He doesn't get a run, but I could play him. Kolomatangi, Gornski's injured. Simpkins, he doesn't exist.
He does exist.
Yeah, but he's not someone I'm going to be able to play or rely on. Terrell May, he's on the bye. So he's my own. So on a perfect week, I've got 2 backups if I don't have anyone on a bye. I've only got Terrell May and Geimer as my backups. And then I've got Going as my guy at the top. So I'm going to have bigger fish to fry. So, yeah, I can't just be bringing in... Although I've got Kolomatangi injured and I can just go, well, I might as well just swap him out and bring him in. I probably might need that depth. I don't know that I'm going to need that coverage in second row or prop. I could have an injury to hooker this week in Connor Watson and be like, oh, shit. All right, now I'll go to Brayley next week. And then Brayley gets injured the week after. I could always just take an AE if it only happens to one spot. But if something happens to Connor Watson at hooker, and then, I don't know, maybe something happens to one of my centre wingers, because I've only got 4 centre wingers that are alive at the moment for the game.
So something's just sparked in my head here. So you've got 3 trades, but you've got, like, what have you said, 1 or 2 backups on the best week?
On my best week scenario. Unless the only way that changes is Lawson comes back miraculously or Karapani, which they can. Karapani's a chance to if anything happens to any of the injuries on any of those sides. But outside of that,
I mean, I've got 5 decent backup options every week at the moment. So
So maybe I'm
if-
thinking about my scenario in your head as like you can't make that trade because I'm thinking that you know, in as bad a situation as what I am depth-wise.
But it probably justifies your point more that I can cover it now that, you know, you might burn through these trades because you do need it, and I can sit back and maybe use it as
you could catch up on me simply just because of that.
I could use it as a luxury kind of thing later on.
For the last 2 weeks, you can field actually 17 or even a full 18 and have an A drop out where I'm actually only fielding 15. You got 3 players on me or something.
So that's where I kind of look at that and think, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
But you're not catching me.
It's
Grant might.
I was so close, eh?
I think Grant's got similar trades, but probably better depth.
Yeah. All right. Captains this week. Who are you looking at?
So it's really exciting. I really love this captain round because I feel like there's a lot of great options, and particularly for head-to-head finals, if I'm a bit behind, there's stuff I can do. I think just my feel at the moment of where I think I'm going to land is probably vice captain Nath, just because it feels safe to have something on him.
Play safe, vice captain Nath.
Yeah, feels safe. He plays the second game of the round against Newcastle Friday night. I don't feel like I don't love it as the massive upside, but I feel like it's just safe.
He averages very good against Newcastle. He loves playing Newcastle. But defensively, they've been great this season.
I feel like my captain will probably land on Lomax, which is more to me saying this is going to make you want to bring him in even more.
Well, that's who I'm landing on captaining at the moment. So I'm doing exactly the same, VC.
But there's Drinky. You could go Drinky against the Eels. He could be great still. There's the Titans boys against like Brimson or Jaden Campbell. They're really great options too if you're trying to catch up in your head-to-head. I wouldn't want to be going Jaden Campbell's my outright captain if I wasn't trying to catch up on something. You know what I mean? If I'm playing overall, I'm not trying to catch first or something, I'm definitely not going one of those guys. I'm going the safer sort of, the guy that you can count for a 80 most weeks and hopefully gets me a 120.
Rain is around again in Sydney on the weekend. So maybe Lomax is going to be a tough one. Go to the Gold Coast. Rain is around there on the weekend as well.
Yeah,
let's go to the millimeters. How do we get that? 4 meals.
I also like Hines against the Dragons.
I like that too.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I mean,
but you know what?
Tommy made a good point about the Dragons being up for these sorts of matchups
at Cogra. Yeah, I actually can't VC Nath into Captain Hines though. I think a lot of people will be saying...
you can't do both, yeah. But it could be one or the other considering you don't... Like, I don't feel like Nath a slam dunk this week compared to...
I actually think vice-captaining Hines could be the play. For me, I could vice-captain Trebojevic against Canberra. All right. I
mean, he could go good, but I don't feel like there's the upside to capitalise and get ahead of people. The only way that happens is if everyone else's vice-captains just sort of underwhelm and... he goes, I can't see him going to that real big one where you want to loop him.
Yep. All right, tipping point.
No. So, yeah, to those at home, there's no tipping point this week. Hads in the chat put out a bit of a request that we, I don't know, it's not a strike. What is the boycott? I'll read Hads' chat. He said... Guys, on behalf of Grant, Timmy, and myself, this is just to us in the chat. This is not to you, the listeners. This is just to us in the chat. But this is what he said to us. He goes, guys, on behalf of Grant, Timmy, and myself, of course, even though I've only been on 2 weeks, I'd like to boycott Tipping Point until Savs does his punishment. Why should he have the chance to come back and potentially win this season if he's yet to even serve his current punishment? The quicker he gets this done, the more chance he can not lose again. I don't know. If he resists, he must do his punishment before grand final. Basically, I just said, yeah, look, I'll boycott. So there's no tipping point until. So I don't know if it's going to be no tipping point.
I have a rebuttal. So based on you doing that, then I have no chance to tie up with you guys.
Well, you've made your own bed.
All I can do is tie. So I see that as you guys.
You see that as running in front of Jaden Campbell as a trainer?
I see that.
It's a bit bad sportsmanship.
No, hold on. I've got a proposal. So I see that as you guys throwing in the flag, not giving me the chance to come back, and kind of like you're in a position where if you do that, pretty much from my point of view, you guys don't win because you haven't given me every opportunity to do so. I've booked next Thursday.
You know what?
I've booked.
Do you know what we'll do? You can have this win. Sorry, boys. I'm going to give it to him.
No.
But you have to do your punishment by next week. We'll even give you a win. But you have to do it by next episode or there's no more.
I don't want
you can't be setting up punishments for...
Let me finish. I've booked next Thursday off to do it.
I love this. You've taken a day off for it. I said that's why you got to do it.
Because my biggest thing, it's not the punishment. I'm not scared of the punishment or
You're
anything.
busy, man.
For a while, it was like, yeah,
got a kid,
I'm dieting. I am dieting at the moment, but I'm also... I didn't want to get to this point where you guys are demanding this, and I don't want this from you guys because I know at this point last year you shaved your head as soon as it happened. You kept your word, and I'm not going to be that guy because...
Well, you are, but you can rectify it by just making it happen immediately.
So I've booked it next Thursday, and pretty much if you guys want to keep doing tipping point from now, then let's do it.
Okay, but because you've got two options. I can give you the win. You can take the win, but you have to do it next week. And if you don't do it next week, there's just no more tipping point. We just don't do it. It's just done for the year. We don't have to do our punishment. You don't have to do your punishment. There's no point. Like, what we'll set up and then.
But what if I end up tying and winning every single week? Will you guys be like, oh no, the trainer?
I'm happy to I'm happy to play the game without a punishment, but you can't make there's a punishment and then not do the punishment. So
yeah. 100%. No, I 100% agree.
Yeah, so you can either take the win, but you've got to do it next week, or we actually play the game out now. I don't know what my consequence for you is, though. On the flip side,
I'll take the W this week, and then you can consult with the boys.
I don't know if the boys are going to like this. I think we can.
Or you want to do the tipping point?
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
Because by next week, by this weekend, it's all done and dusted.
Why should the boys be at a loss?
I could be doing ready for double punishments because this week, if you win this week, it's done. I can only tie from here.
All right, bring it on, big boy.
5 weeks to go. It's 8-13, 13-8.
As long as we're not sitting here this time next year trying to get you to do the punishment from this year.
No, but I just want to confirm what is the punishment. Is it going to Jay's Kitchen?
Jay's Kitchen for a succulent meal, wasn't it?
It was steak like meal. Shit steak, pretty much chicken.
Yeah, give us your shit a steak.
All right, so we're going to go Lomax, Campbell. You pick the rest, Gagai. Who else? Who do you want?
Did you say Lomax?
Sorry?
Did you say Lomax?
Lomax, Campbell, Gagai. Brimson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go Brimson, and we'll also go... We'll go Ronnie or Tommy?
Or Payne Haas.
Yeah, let's go Haas. All right. Lomax, I'll start at 70, and I'll go over.
Yeah, I'll go over 70, and I'll go over 75.
And I'll go over 80.
I'll go over 85.
I'll go under 85. Jaden Campbell. I'll go over...
You're going under 85 for a bloke that you're going to bring in with your last trade. What are you doing?
Hedging my bets.
Yeah, that's crazy. I win. Yes, I win. Yes.
Jaden Campbell, I'll go over 75.
Yeah, I'll go over 80.
I'll go under 80. Dane Gagai, I'll go over 80.
I'll go over 81.
I'll go under 81. AJ Brimson.
I think this might be the week he goes lower.
Yeah. AJ Brimson.
Fuck it, if Brimson can do it, so can he.
AJ Brimson, 55.
I'll go over 60.
I'll go under.
Just taking the unders for everyone. You're just hoping they all get knocked out, aren't you?
Payne Haas, 80 points.
80 points?
I'll go over.
Ooh. I wouldn't mind having a under in this race. You've got every under.
Campbell, Gagai. So, yeah, I've got every under.
I kind of feel like he's going to go more though, hey? I just feel like he's had the week off and it's Melbourne, like they need him to sort of bring his...
Does he get attacking stats though, but does he need them? I'm just not sure where his fitness is at. Like, I can't pick this one.
I feel like I'd like it to be a 50 or a 60 because I'm probably not going to bring him in. I feel like it's got the potential to be that if he's sweet, I reckon he'll come out going and it'll be like a closer to a ton. I feel like 80s. I'll go over 81.
I'll go over 83.
I'll go under.
All right, done. So I've got Lomax under 85, Campbell under 80, Gaga under 81, Brimson under 60, and Haas over 83. I appreciate you for playing along.
Sorry, Hads. I know I fucking...
No, but you guys...
But I can't have him sitting here going, I didn't have a chance to win. I need my chance to win. You've taken away my fair chance.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Sounds like
Campbell.
Yeah, it sounds like the NRL community thinking that Jaden Campbell didn't have an opportunity to kick a goal there.
Yeah, so I booked in a day off next Thursday, so we'll get it done. And yeah, I should have just got it done earlier. And,
looking forward to it, mate.
How do you want me to document it? I don't know what the best way to document it is. Like,
just get put out like a Airtasker ad and find someone to come film it for you for $30 for the 24 hours. There'll be someone who'll do it for $30.
$30 for 24 hours. Jesus
someone
Christ.
will do it. You can get some cheap stuff out there.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in for the podcast. We'll see you next week.